So, apparently, some folks in the Cape have had just about enough of the rest of South Africa. Their solution, not to vote smarter, not to lead better, not to reform the system. Nope. Their grand plan is secession, because obviously the best way to fix a country is to run away from it. As someone who's worked on the ground, from Tshwane to Mpumalanga to KwaZulu-Natal, and deep in the trenches of politics and varsity politics and the rest, let me tell you something. Fixing South Africa takes guts, policies, leadership, not a Pinterest board about forming a little Switzerland at the bottom of Africa. Cape independence. That's the political equivalent of slamming your bedroom door and shouting, "I'm starting my own house." Let's get straight. Let's get something straight. Yes, the Western Cape is run better than most provinces, thanks to the DA government. We deliver, we clean up, we fight corruption. But instead of exporting that success to the rest of the country, some people want to build a metaphorical lager and whisper, "Shame, good luck, rest of us." That's not patriotism, that's privilege on a guilt trip. How pathetic. And now, the African Transformation Movement, also known as the ATM. Not the one that gives you money, just the other one that gives you noise with Jimmy Money and the rest, has entered the chat. Apparently, the DA's Western Cape Provincial Powers Bill is a return to settler colonialism and a dangerous attempt to divide South Africa. Wow. Imagine reading a document about constitutional devolution of power and hallucinating a full-blown war of secession. Let's clear this up. The DA's bill doesn't call for independence, it calls for competence, because when the national government fails at policing electricity, rail, and service delivery, the constitution already allows provinces to step in. Read section 104. It's right, the plain and legal. But ATM read that and went full conspiracy mode. This is a racial invasion, a return to apartheid, classical. Now it's called federalism. You should Google it. And speaking of delusion, let's talk about the Cape independence crowd. Yes, there are a few, mostly online, mostly ungovernable, who dream of a breakaway Cape Republic. They even have a flag, some maps, maybe a TikTok page. But here's the reality. The Western Cape only contributes about 14.1% to the national GDP. Not bad, but you're not exactly Saudi Arabia. And the province receives over 226 billion rands a year from national transfers. So you want independence, but still want the treasury to pay the bills? Without ESCOM, the Defence Force, SAPS, or the Reserve Bank, your Cape Republic would need to raise taxes sky high or face collapse by a year or two. You can't just build a wall in Worcester and hope for the best. Load shedding's bad now. Try running Coburg with TikTok influencers and a manifesto written on Reddit. And to the ATM, your remarks about foreigners like Phil Craig not being allowed to participate in politics? Seriously? This is a constitutional democracy. We don't bar people based on their accent, surname, or skin tone. That's not transformation, that's xenophobia and racism in struggle era cosplay. Now, look, if you care about this country, you don't burn the constitution, you use it. We don't need secession, we need power closer to the people. That's what the DA is doing, devolving power, delivering services, respecting the rule of law. That's not division, that's called functional governance. And it works in countries like Germany, Canada, and Australia. Now, ladies and gentlemen, that brings it to the end of this week's episode. Not this week's, this day's episode, pardon me. If you have watched till the end, please click on the subscription bell, hit that notification bell, as well as do subscribe to our parent channel, being State of the Nation Political Insider or State of the Nation itself, hosted by our main man, Mike Sham. See you tomorrow evening, actually, because that is when we are recording the next episode. So till then, Shabbat Shalom, stay safe, and keep the fire burning in your heart for our country.